1, stand by.
I don't know if Commissioner heard you.
822 dead.
10 seconds. We'll have an animation, package in one.
Mute your phone if you're on the bridge. 5 seconds.
5, 4,
Four,
3, 2, 1. Roll
The
D.
open is
Open
rolling.
rolling.
You're watching WDAM.
Stand by, package in one.
On the road.
Package.
Package.
We're on you, Eddie. I'm sorry, no, we're not, Eddie. No, we're not.
Columbia, Mississippi.
It's
a
open.
town
Audiotron
with a lot
music
of
down.
charm.
Because it's on there.
Repainting buildings and just bringing everything
Coming to a
back
VO in
life.
2.
This year, it's celebrating 200 years.
Family was part of the Virginia settlers. They came here in 1799.
There it goes. Touchdown!
10 seconds.
Known for producing champions, holding Mississippi's first rodeo, and packing a lot of power.
That's going to be made in Mississippi.
It's all made right here
Stand by.
in Columbia.
All right.
Exploring new heights, sportsmen and women looking for a great place to hike often head to the trails of Red Bluff. Located on the outskirts of Columbia, it's called the Grand Canyon of Mississippi, just a tad bit smaller. It's a beauty located right here in the Pine Belt.
What a sight. Good evening at 6 o'clock, and
They're
you're
up.
watching a special edition
we're on you,
of
Eddie.
WDAM 7 News.
That is right. Good
Got a
evening. Thanks for
VO
joining us.
in
I am Jessica
3.
Bowman. What a beautiful day here in downtown Columbia. Thanks for joining us for 7 on the road.
Wait, what?
Now we are in the city
Oh.
of Charm on the River Pearl.
And the clock strikes 6 o'clock as we join you from downtown Columbia. Folks in this town are celebrating 2 centuries now of existence, and they're remembering also a 2-term governor who called Columbia
Coming to a
home
SOT
for
in 1
much
next.
of his life. Governor Hugh White was a Macomb native who served as mayor of Columbia back in the 1920s and lived in this Spanish colonial-style mansion before moving on to the governor's mansion up in Jackson. He served as governor from 1936 to 1940 and again from 1952 to 1956. Today, his Columbia home is an historic landmark.
SOT.
That property.
We'll continue VO, and then we're coming to double boxes with both live shots.
And they lived there for several years until they went to Jackson and the governor's mansion. So they spent a good 10 years there at that location.
Q. Stand by.
The Marion County Museum and Archives has several photos and other memorabilia from Governor White, including a desk nameplate and his walking stick.
They're up.
That is pretty cool. And as we've said all afternoon, it is a
We'll have an
gorgeous
animation,
day.
go
Of course,
to,
we wouldn't come out to
weather
downtown
live
Columbia
shot.
without bringing the rest of our WDAM crew.
We bought just about half the station out here, including our chief meteorologist, Nick Livia, who's having some fun in the sun a couple of blocks away from
Roll D. Nick is up.
Yeah, we're having a great time down here, Steve. I will tell you that
Coming
we
to the
could have
weather
bought a
map.
better day if we wanted to. Fantastic weather out here. In fact, let's take a peek outside instead of here in downtown Columbia, just down the road at Mack Grubbs Ford in
All right,
Columbia.
after weather, we'll go back to the main
we got
live
the
shot.
interns actually running the computer back in behind me. Noah, what's the temperature out in Columbia right now? What do we got? We got 82 degrees out there, so says Noah. In fact, hit the old space bar on there. Let's see what we got pulled up next for our wonderful weather graphics. I believe it should be. Yeah, the
That's
temperature
keep in
trend
from
as we
walking
head through
over
the rest
there.
of tonight as we ease things back to around 60 degrees. But
Don't
again,
worry, because you got
we're
a
here in
hand
downtown
down.
Columbia enjoying all of the beautiful
Stand by
weather.
main
I'll
live
send it back
shot.
over to you guys, just up the street.
Q.
And they're up.
We're on the 2 shot.
Package in
In the
2.
coming weeks, the city of Columbia prepares for one of its biggest parties in 200 years.
That is right, but I would say this is a party out here today. It's been a lot of fun out here for 7 on the road, but we are talking about Freedom Fest. It brings in so many people. We're talking about music, food, and of course, fireworks. Always my favorite. Well, tonight, Lexi Hughes, she was able to speak with some organizers about the event. Let's hear more about what you can expect.
Package.
There's no better way to celebrate.
This runs 120. Outcue is capabilities that Columbia has.
Live music, a cruising, fireworks, and more.
After this package, we'll have an animation and go back to the live shot
Lieutenant Governor
for an
Hughes
interview.
come out. That's why we're shooting a massive amount of fireworks. That's how
Mic
why
check.
we're having
Yeah,
a
mic
great
check
game.
on the guy.
That's why we're going to pull
Might
off.
check on that.
Oh, man.
Freedom Fest from July 6th.
Yeah, check.
Check, mic check.
Got 'em.
Fun for the entire family.
It's going to be plenty of entertainment for an entire family. We've hired the Chiwis, which is a great band who are coming to Louisiana to come in and play. And I'm really excited about our local artist, Elsie, who won the Country Music Showdown here in Mississippi. Got a trolley that's going to be running from here to Bluff Street Park to an art show. We've of course got the cruising.
30.
And what's a festival without some delicious food? This year's event featuring a barbecue cook-off.
We're going to have a BCA sanctioned barbecue cook-off contest. We're expecting contestants up to 20 contestants.
Jacob Harrison, the spokesperson for Experience
15.
Columbia, says the goal of
15
this year's
seconds
event
before we come back
is
out.
to show off the city.
Columbia is a great place to live.
10 seconds. Stand by D, stand by live shot.
To
Less
raise
than
a
10,
family.
stand by live
And
shot.
we just want to showcase the talent that's here in Columbia and then the
Roll D.
capabilities that Columbia has.
Roll D.
Organization is
Why'd you keep
dedicated to bringing this community together. Nick Ingram
That's
joining us
lag.
now as one of the front men of Main Street Columbia.
That is right. Thanks for joining us here today on this
Got
beautiful
B-roll
day.
on
So
your
let's
command.
talk about this powerful project that's been happening here in Columbia.
Well, you mentioned a party just a few minutes ago, and if you could have only been here and experienced January 1st, just a few months ago, when we shot fireworks in downtown Columbia, there was well over 12,000 people in attendance standing on the streets of Columbia, a gathering in downtown Columbia like you've never seen before.
That is amazing. So are you from Columbia?
I'm not. I'm originally from Louisiana and moved up here about 10 years ago.
Okay, so just being here during all that excitement, how did it feel? How did the community kind of come together and show their support for one another?
1:30.
You know, for me, on December the 23rd, 2014, tornado came through Columbia, and it brought mass devastation. And at that moment, our community was already kind of on a downward spiral. And at that moment, when we rallied together to bring our community back together and found key people
left in this
throughout the
interview.
city and throughout this community that helped to bring Columbia together, it was just a powerful start to what we experienced this past few months.
A lot of folks in a lot of other communities looking to Columbia as an example, perhaps. What lessons could you offer to other towns across the Pine Belt and what it takes to bring people together for a common cause?
You know, I'm in marketing, and that's my experience and
play
expertise. And
Beagle
so the
too.
one thing that it takes to do anything like this is to discover who. Discover who the team is, who your team is, and that is the most important, most powerful thing that we've discovered here in Columbia.
Did you say
was the teamwork
A22
that
was
we-
dead?
That we put together, that we exercise together,
A22
working
is
together with
dead.
different organizations
A22
like
is
the
dead.
city, the county, Main
30.
Street, MCDP, business leaders
30 left in
who
this.
are such a powerful influence and invest in this community heavily.
Absolutely. We've seen that today. Steve and I,
Give 'em
you
a
know, we
wrap.
spoke with the mayor, board of supervisors, and everyone's just been so welcoming.
Coming
and I
to
can
'em.
see how well y'all do.
They're back
work
up.
together.
We'll have a VO in
Thanks
2.
for joining us.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. Well, now to some 7 on the road trip trivia. You don't want to go anywhere.
Double
What
boxes
year was
with the studio
first
next.
rodeo held
All right,
in
give us
Columbia?
a two-shot
Well,
in.
you can post your answers right now on
Don't
Facebook at
Wait for my cue for
WDAM.
Comitra.
Shot in.
We have lots more 7 on the road coming up.
That's right.
Stand
Right
by
now, we're
D,
going to
stand
head
by
back to the
Comitra.
studio. Comitra joins us right now with a look at your top Pine Belt headlines.
Roll D. Cue Comitra.
Well, Jessica and Steve, you seem to be having a great time out there, but we'll have more live in Columbia ahead
VO
with
in
first
3.
today's top
Just
stories
stand on
in
the
the
two
Pine
shot.
Belt.
We're gonna
In
stand
Lamar
on the two
County, a
shot.
man accused of kidnapping his 6-year-old niece is
Where
behind
is the
bars
source
in
on the
Alabama and now awaits
Got a graphic
extradition
in
to
C?
Mississippi. 28-year-old Jared Slade is charged with kidnapping. Lamar County Sheriff Danny Regal says
Going to a
Slade
VO in
stole
1
a car
next.
and kidnapped the girl on Wednesday from Lamar County.
come back out to
Regal says
824.
officers in Alabama received word the car
We're
was
gonna get ready to take a
parked
bump shot.
on the side of
No,
the
we're not
road.
doing
The
that.
child,
We're not
thankfully,
taking
was
it.
not injured during the kidnapping.
But keep that shot. Keep that shot.
45 young women from across the state
Maybe
prepare
that
for
sound.
next week's Miss Mississippi pageant in Vicksburg. Some of the contestants are
VO in
from
3
the
next.
Pine Belt,
Actually got
including
nothing
Macy
on that
Mitchell,
either.
Miss Hattiesburg, and Caitlin Brown, Miss Natchez Trace. Mitchell's a Petal native and Southern Miss Bradley.
A22 is
and has
dead.
been
We're going to
competing in Miss
A23 next.
Mississippi- In Miss Mississippi for 4 years. Brown is competing for the
we'll
3rd
keep
year,
that
and
bump shot.
she's
I'm
from
gonna
Richmond
keep it
and attends USM. You can see the pageant on WDAM NBC
What's up?
Saturday,
What's up?
June 22nd, beginning at 8 p.m. You can
by.
check out today's top headlines on our
Stand by D,
WDAM
stand by
app.
live shot.
For now,
Stand by live
let's
shot.
check in with Steve and Jessica, who are
Cue.
live in
Roll
Columbia
D.
for more 7 on the road.
They're up.
Appreciate it. Stay with us for a lot
One
more
VO in
7
1.
on the road.
That is right. We are live in Columbia. Stay right where you are. You are not going to want to miss what is coming up. Our next stop, firearms manufacturer.
Going to break.
Rolling back shift around the country. We're going to take you inside the lab to show you how these guns are made right here in the Pine Belt.
Oh, let's take Zay's shot. Zay, we're taking your shot. We're taking your shot. We're taking your shot. Zay's shot. No, we're taking the bump shot. We're taking Zay's shot.
All right, and
Break.
we're getting ready to
Fade
hold-
it
we're
and
gonna
take it.
Commercial break, but we're just gonna hold
We're in
that
break
two
now.
shot
And that was
for the
6
next
o'clock,
about
8 block.
2 minutes whether it was a good
shots.
shot.